Welcome back to the Bad Blue podcast, everybody. Today we'll have a BFBA fighter on, Dan McGraffin. How are you doing, Dan?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Good, my man. As always, we're going to introduce a couple of sponsors, also friends of the podcast. Like to give a big shout out to Lookin Barbers. As you'll see, I'm wearing the outfit now with the logo podcast on. Check out all that stuff in store now. It's getting cold, so they've got the beanies, they've got hats in, they've got all sorts. Go check them out if you're a local listener. Also, Mr. Bloom's Black Seed Oil Mechanics. Big shout out to the team over there. Tremendous health products, absolute banging people who run this company as well. Top people. So head over to the Facebook page. They've also got a YouTube channel as well. Head over to that. Another massive shout out at ScotWest Shellfish. Without you guys, this podcast would not have been running through these times, and that is factual. So your help has contributed massively to this podcast, and as always, we're always thankful and much grateful for what you have done for us. So I would just like to say big shout out to ScotWest Shellfish. Also, we're affiliated with Fearless Fitness Boxing Club, South Shields. My former partner in crime who used to do the podcast with us, Matty Ferries, he's now landed his dream. He's got his own gym. He's teaching the youth. He's got the community there. He's doing tremendous stuff. So I'd like to give a big shout out to them over at the Marsden Health and Fitness Centre. So yeah, big shout out to Fearless Fitness. And also Safeguarding all fighters' eventualities, Daz Wilson. The project that you have done, my man, is fantastic. Like the work that you are doing behind closed doors for these fighters, for their mental health, for former addicts, everything you do within the fight game behind closed doors will not go unheard of or unseen, my man. Your work will come to fruition one day. You will make it. Keep doing what you are doing, mate. Dan, thank you very much for joining the show. BFBA, you've signed the contract, I believe.
Yeah.
So, you've signed the contract, my man. Where did it all start from you? Like, how, we usually get straight into it. Like, how was it for you growing up? Like, whereabouts are you from?
Right, so I was born in Cumbria, Whitehaven, and my mum married an army bloke who was from Newcastle, and we sort of plotted around a bit, Germany, a few other places, and then ended up settling in Newcastle when I was like 7, something like that. So grew up in Newcastle Blakelaw, and I was bullied like hell me as a kid. Like mad throughout school, and it's not really massive stone up as well, so now it's changed there. But I joined the army. Yeah, obviously I was gonna take that path because I sort of grew up with it. It was in my head since I was a kid. Sort of believed that I didn't have to do anything in school because I was joining the army. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then joined the army, and then it sort of started happening again. Like I could see the same sort of route of getting bullied, or it was going to happen, and this is where I sort of thought to myself, I can either go through it all again, or do something about it. And then
I get it.
The army changed after that.
I get how you feel, because I have a similar pattern in life to you, in similarity that my stepfather, Stephen Hancock, he served in the Royal Air Force, so we moved about quite a lot as well, and it is unnerving when you're having to move schools and having to make new friends constantly all the time. It takes it. Not only does it make you nervous, it doesn't make you anxious. It has a long-lasting effect. Like you said, you decided to make a change. I got bullied myself. I decided to make a change. I wanted to get into some form of thing. How was your environment growing up?
The environment, well, it was all right. It was sound, apart from like obviously outside the house. And at school and stuff, I was saying, but what my ma done was she bought a house in like the fucking rival school's area, like a different fucking area where they all went to like our rival school. So I was like deep in this fucking estate where everybody wanted to kill us. Do you know what I mean? So I had no fucking, there was proper school beefs back then as well, like bad fucking school beefs. And then just because I was from that school, I was just a target instantly. So I'd have to like get off different bus stops, walk fucking long ways around, cut through people's gardens. And like when I was walking, like I'd be checking people down the court. I got stabbed in the leg when I was 15. My mum thinks something else happened, but it was a nightmare until obviously the army, and then obviously drink become involved in the army as well, which obviously got you more confident. And then that's where, but that is where the boxing started. That's just where I started to really do stuff about something. Like I wasn't going to be treated like that anymore, or let people take the piss out of it, sort of thing. But the boxing come way after that. It was after I left the army, I was DJing for a bit, like I was saying earlier, and because I had bypassed that drug stage, I got in the army so young. Obviously, I had smoked weed when I was in school, but I'd stopped, joined the army, didn't touch anything. When I got out the army, felt like I was fucking free. Do you know what I mean? Because I finished up in Colchester in army jail because I went AWOL. So I ended up in there, finished off in there, got out, and I just went on a fucking mad one for years, about 3 years. Went on an absolute mad one, and obviously
we have far too much in common, my man. I joined the army. I failed training. Look, I'm not ashamed to admit that. Like back then I was a fucking rascal. Like I was a toe rag. I was fucking, and then yeah, you are a free man after that. I went AWOL myself, got kicked out. Very ashamed of that now. Back then I wasn't ashamed of nothing back then. Now I'm terribly ashamed of that. But I get exactly what you mean. You're a free man and you just go on one for years and years and years, man. And you just never know where it's never gonna fucking stop. As you said, you were DJing. I've got a friend, big shout out, DJ Essex, Kyle Essex. He's got a couple of gigs coming out soon, so if you're local, check out DJ Essex. I'm sure you'll know who he is. How is that? How did you find that lifestyle, Dan?
Oh, man, I loved it, mate. So I started I produced music. This is my little studio. I still do that now. I just don't DJ. I don't have the lifestyle anymore. I don't go out. But because I was only young. I was about 23 when I got out of the army. So we're talking like them years leading up. I was making music. I was gigging. I was grafting in the gig. So that's why I wasn't even making money from the DJ. Really, like a bit of fucking petrol money here and there, not major. And there were some of them were big gigs as well. But like I just wanted to be on the stage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so money from all the grafting, and then that's another reason why. Never ending, mate. It was never ending. I'd get on one for days on end.
It's a lifestyle you lead, isn't it? Like that's what happens. You become stuck in a rut. Like you don't know. You start it, and then you just never know when to stop. Do you know what I mean? I say it to people now. I say it with people now, and I'm thinking, oh.
Some of my mates from them are still doing it now. That's the thing. That's why I had to get away, mate. So I got caught grafting. Another thing, and do you know, like when they're onto you, they're fucking onto you. Then I'm telling you, like, and I don't know if I was just getting paranoid or what. But I was like, right, I'm fucking this off. But then obviously, if you want to make a quick quid, it's the only fucking way you can sometimes. So I was like, I'm off. I moved. My dad lives in Blackpool. I was like, I'm off to Blackpool. I went there, didn't fucking know anybody, and it's like not surrounded by everyone influencing us to.
Yes. That's probably the key, Dan, because that's where people fail to get out of the rut, because you've got to get away from those who are surrounded by you in those moments, and that's everything. You've got to take yourself out of that environment, And you've clearly done that with the move to Blackpool. How did you find that change? Like, I know you were going to go into the story, but
I went from making about £5 a week to making £5 a week. Mate, I went from because I was making good bit of money, man. And obviously, like you say, I had to get away from it. But then I went on the dole, didn't have any money. And then that change was hard because I had fucking no money. I was living in my dad's for a couple of months, got my own place. That was like a little squat place for me. But this is when I started boxing. So I've done one of them. I obviously felt shit and depressed and everything. And I seen a ultra white collar thing. It's funny enough, come up on my memories the other day. So it was 5 years ago, November 2016. That was when I fought. So that was my first ever fight. And I walked into there and it was Brian Rose's gym, the professional boxer Brian Rose, and his brother was working the show. And after my fight, obviously, I was like, I won. But I beat like a kid in Blackpool who was well known. He was supposed to be dead hard. I beat him. So everyone was getting like, oh, fucking Joe this and Joe. And I was like, fuck's sake. It was proper shit, like. And then I beat him, stopped him in the second round. And then I was like, and then Mitchell, Brian's brother, he was like, do you want to fight on an EBF show? No head guards. I was like, yeah. And then once I got with them, all the EBF boys, I was getting fucking away fights, left, right, and centre. I was getting fucking fights all over the place. But I went to one fight in Macclesfield, and they had this big ticket seller. It was a footballer's brother. I can't remember the name of him now. Josh Bardsley. It was fucking ex-United players, fucking brother anyway. So we get there, and there was fucking hundreds of people, like dead intimidating. You know what I mean? And we walk out, it was the main event, and the walkout, I was there to lose. Do you know what I mean? That's what they all fucking thought, but I didn't lose. I wasn't fucking losing. So I fucking come out, and then this guy's like going, you're gonna get sparked. And I was like, yeah, really, yeah. Fucking, I was so, because of the crowd, I was just so fucking hyped. I battered him. And yeah, one night I had to sneak off out the fucking back and jump in the car quick because fucking everyone wanted to batter us. Mad shit like that, yeah.
Is that not that Philip Bardsley? Is it Philip Bardsley?
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Phil Bardsley.
Phil Bardsley.
The one who knocked out Rooney in the kitchen.
That's the one. That's why my mind was thinking, I was saying, hold on here. I'm sure he knocked Rooney out.
Yeah, they come to background him. His dad was a boxer, and he boxed a lot. Phil, apparently. He was there. But he used to play for Sunderland, didn't he? And I had a badge on my chest.
Didn't make us be sick on my own podcast, man, Dan. Whoa.
So I had a Newcastle badge on my chest, tattooed on my chest there, and I'm like tapping me for, even though he played for Burnley at the time. Tapping it like that, and I'm like, to kill us, man.
Fucking yes, man. That's so weird. So how did you feel? Obviously, I'll take it back to your first fight. Obviously, we are DJing, and you would have trained up to that point and had some form of training. How did you take to, like, I know when you have your first fight, there's loads of nerves and stuff like that, crowds and this, that. But with you being a DJ, you'll be used to large crowds and stuff like that.
Nah, mate, still get nervous now. I'm about coming up to 20 fights now. Yeah, Pickles was like my 18th fight. I still get them nervous pisses. That's why Bare-knuckle's mint, because it's just raps. So I can go for a piss right before. So fucking nervous, man. Every time I've been at some fights, even though I know I'm going to destroy this person, I think, how can I get out of this? And I was thinking like, oh, if I could just fall down the stairs and snap my leg. Like, this is what goes through me. And I think that's what gets me when I get in there. It's all gone. Literally, as soon as I start walking out and I see the opponent, it starts to fade away, and then something else comes then. Do you know what I mean? As soon as As soon as I'm hit, really, you see Pickles caught a good shot on us as well. My head popped back, and then I was just like, fucking, that was it then.
Yeah, we've spoke to Ben. We've had Ben on the podcast before. I big respect to Ben for even stepping into the ring with you, man, because like, yeah, I'm no disrespect against Ben, but I believe that was a big step up for Ben. That's just going off my own. Yep. You know what I mean?
We all thought it was a tough fight, even me coach. He was like, he's like, you're not going to get him out of there early, and because at first I thought I was, and then I don't know what. That's what the coach does all the time. Gets me like that. So I'm thinking,
he knows how to wind you up.
Yeah, but he don't want me to get too overly confident. Do you know what I mean? Because bare-knuckle, anything can happen in there. But he come out. Ben come out fucking fast.
He would.
And I was fucking hell.
He'll be used to that because obviously at the way the pit fighting, it's if you're not fast, you're last. Do you know what I mean? That's the way it goes. The toughest and the quickest. That is exactly how it goes in that pit. But how did you deal with the first fight nerves? Were you? Obviously, I know you say you still get nervous now, but like, how was that?
I get stoned before my fights anyway, me about 2 hours before a fight. I have a joint. That really fucking calmed, and I'm a bit stiff, me, you see. So as soon as I've had a joint, I'm fucking
flown, relaxed.
Fucking, I'll have a joint. Literally, I'll come back from work, I'll be fucked. I'll have a joint, and I'll start shadowboxing in the kitchen. Like it fucking brings me up. So I have that, and then it starts hype me up a little bit. But I can't remember what I'd done on my first fight. You know, can't remember how I felt or what. It would have been the same as now. But I gassed out. Remember that? And I remember thinking, "Fuck me!" Like the longest 2 minutes of my fucking life. And I stopped him in the second round. So if I gassed then, I remember thinking that I was like, I can't let that happen again. Because I thought I was fit because of being in the army and that. I thought, I'm fit, me. But no, that's different fit, which obviously that's why you're full-time training now. If you're taking it serious anyway, you fucking train like mad.
100%. That's why I've got a young fighter who I'm coaching at the minute. He was meant to be fighting on the 4th of December, but he's got a cracked wrist. He's a little talent to watch out for, and he just trains constantly. But I've always told him, look, just because you're very fit doesn't mean that you'll knock gas out in that ring. It's your first fight. Expect the unexpected.
If you're too stiff, if you're not breathing correctly, there's all sorts of aspects to gassing out in there. It's not just the hands.
Yeah, not exactly. 100%. So how are you? How confident? How training? How has it been going? Training wise for this fight that you've got coming up against David?
I've been working a lot recently, so training's not like it was for Pickles, because that camp for Pickles, the fight kept getting postponed. New date. I was training for a year for that fight. October offered fucking Pickles, man. It was a long camp that, and it was like every time it got cancelled, it was only going to be another 6 weeks or another 4 weeks, so it's not enough to stop. It was just keep going. So I felt invincible for that fight. But then obviously I had a couple of weeks off, and then I started working. I am training, don't get us wrong, I'm still training twice a day. So
I do understand your frustration of the fights getting put back, because logistically, like during what we've had to deal with during these last 2 years with the government laws and this pandemic and coronavirus, like the logistics to setting shows up and getting them officially tied over has been a nightmare. Some get pushed back, some do. Do you know what I mean?
I just kept rolling.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's not Bakewell's fault. He just fucking could only do what he could do, couldn't he? And fucking,
he's some man, mind. I've spoken to Andy a few times now, and
he's a genuine guy, him.
Very, very genuine. And I tell you what, his vision, he's got a good vision for where he wants to be.
So I was training with him through the lockdown and stuff like that, because obviously we were supposed to be fighting, and I kept saying, because obviously he started off in like the gyms, I thought in a like a school hall for him or something like that. It was like whole thing. And
wow,
like he
got to
just
start
stayed in.
somewhere.
Yeah, he just stayed in it. I said this when you stayed in your lane, you didn't get involved in any of the politics with them three-letter company down south. Do you know what I mean? You didn't get involved in none of that. Stayed in his lane. Next minute, he's fucking on the blower to Feldman. He's fucking. I was like, oh, to a better person. Do you know what I mean? Because he's one of the only promoters I've ever dealt with who's not a rat. Do you know what I mean?
100%. You've got to follow through with what you're promising people, and your fighters are your priority. I can speak that from a promotional side of view because I've had the promoters hat on before. I've obviously now I'm wearing the media hat again. I was a fighter myself. I didn't have many fights, only had 2. Couldn't deal with the crowds, got a bit anxious. One, do you know what I mean? So knocked the kid clean spot, knocked clean spark out. Referee chucked the towel in, but I do get it from every aspect. It's fucking it's I get you. You don't get many very genuine people in this sport, man. There's a lot of backbiting and a lot of backstabbing.
Baker's the one. Baker's one of the best promoters I've ever dealt with. Honestly, he is, and he's even said to us loads of times, like, oh, bigger things will come for you. Like I'm happy to have you until you move on to bigger things. Like, and he do you know what I mean? That's him basically saying, like, if BKFC come calling or something, like, do you know what I mean?
That's belief in his fighter, Dan. He has belief in you.
But that's why he put us, me and Pickles, up for that British title, even though I was only 1-0, and I beat Danny Ledbetter. So I mean, it wasn't exactly a name. I mean, he's a tough journeyman, like, isn't he? He's a tough.
Of course he is. Anybody, we've got to give respect, Dan. Like, look,
mate, look, Peter, the fight he had with Peter Hayes out on BFBA, and he got a draw. Mate, he come out there, but that new, see how we've took on BKFC's rule sets with the clinch game.
Yeah,
that's gonna fit him so well, you know, because he's got like the Muay Thai background, and you know what I mean?
Clinching style. Yeah.
Him so much better, you know, and I can see him doing a lot better now.
See,
and he just needs to weight a little bit. Do you know what I mean? He fights a bit too heavy. If he dropped back down to his normal weight with these rule sets, what he done? Peter Hayes, I sparred Hayes, mate. I sparred him, and he put me on my arse with a body shot. He hit me in the solar plexus. He hits hard, Peter. You know. He hit me in the solar plexus, straight right hand, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was in Bakewell, this and that. He's mates with Ben, and he was telling Ben, "Oh, I'll put him on his arse," so that was giving Ben a bit of confidence.
Oh,
like, you know what I mean?
Right. I must admit, I give Ben respect because Ben, he has won some tough fights against some tough fighters, man. Yeah, he has. He really, really has. I will take my hat off to Ben. But like I say, it was a tremendous. What can I say? It was a good exchange.
Yeah.
I can't.
We knew my coach. He's a fucking knowledge of boxing, man. It's up there. He's so good, man. And he was saying, like, he comes out, he throws his flurries, and if he doesn't get anything significant, sort of gets a little bit disheartened, and then resets himself.
Right.
And he always parries. That's why I fainted the fucking first one. He always parries, and he doesn't move. I'm gonna fucking give away his shit now. Sorry, Ben. He always moves back in a straight line. He doesn't move and then cut an angle or anything like that. He moves. So it was just a straight. I remember my coach just goes, as soon as he feed, he just went fire back, straight shots. And it was only the right hand what landed. I think the first one went to 1-2 because I knew he would be moving backwards. That's why it was a bit of a double jab.
Yeah,
moving. It did. He'd done exactly what we fucking planned, but that quick.
Just step in with it. Just step in with it. Yeah, nice straight shots.
I planned that to happen the 4th or 5th round. Break him down. I was trying to break him down with body shots and really get his hands down. And I thought I'd get him out of there 4 or 5. Fucking
because seconds. He's got a lot of boxing experience. I mean, how many has he had? 80-odd boxing background, 80-odd fights or something like that?
He's got an amateur background as well. So I was like, it's like I kept looking because there weren't many fights online of him, and I'm just like, the coach kept saying, "Don't underestimate him." He was like, "You'll get him out of there, but it'll be late." I was like, "Right, okay."
Well, you didn't make it to the late night, so There we go. You don't get paid for overtime in this business, Dan, as you well know.
Take as less damage as fucking possible, and
that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game.
Even when he caught me with a jab, I remember like going, "Oh, it stings. Your hands sting. Everything stings." So when you get into, I've not had it myself yet, but it'll be coming. It'll be coming. A fucking full-on war where like fucking faces are out. Yeah, it will be coming, obviously, because the level's only going to get better and better.
Oh, so, most definitely, because that is the problem that you will find now that because let's take nothing away from Ben. He was a world champion in a pit fighting organization. So you've just you've done a number. So now your name is well out there. So the opponents can only. I mean, I know you only 2 fights in on your bare-knuckle. So I know you've got to be like baby step and whatever, but mate, it's going to be hard to match you, mate. And getting it for a lower as experience-wise, if you get what I mean.
It's going up, isn't it? So
yeah,
we've played for the European, me and David, and I'm obviously going to demolish David because I think Ben is better than David. Watching their fights, David's comes from MMA. He's a lazy fighter. He's lazy. He stands in one spot and he just wiggles his hands about like this. And then when you step in, he just fucking falls. He's got good timing and he's tough. That's it. And I don't mind giving away my game plan either because I've got a plan B, C, D. He's that defensively shit that I've got that many plans on him. The uppercut left hook will be landing on him all night. You heard it here first. The uppercut left hook will be landing on David Round all night. But I don't think I'll get him out of there. That's why I'm training for 5 rounds with fucking heavy going for it. My coach, the pressure he puts on me, no one's going to put that sort of pressure on me. So we know that the bigger picture, getting there to the end, is whoever wins the world title shot in February, which is Darren Hendrick. I don't want to give away. Right. The end picture is I believe Darren's going to go far, right? Nothing else.
Allegedly.
The BFBA. So he's the one I want. Do you know what I mean? That what sort of I'll put my mark on bare-knuckle them one if I battered Darren Hendry, wouldn't I? What sort of mark am I even there? Cementing me name then, because he's a beast.
You've more than solidified if you do that job. Trust us. I think the offers then will fly in for.
So that's what we're aiming for. Obviously, I'll get so this is the better one. Hang on, we get the winner. This is I'm fucking giving away the news now, but we get.
That's what we're like.
So me and David are fighting for the European, and Simon Henriksen and Tony Historia are fighting each other. Them 2 hooligans. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's got to be a good fight. So the winner of them is fighting the winner of me and David Round.
Oh,
so I believe I'm going to beat David Round, and then I think I'm going to have that Simon Henriksen, which is a sick fight. Because he's a big name as well. I mean, from the King of the Streets and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
some of their stuff, man. Wow, brutal.
To Bakewell as well, because he's got links with them. I was like, "Can you get me on that?" I was like, So
I know. I was speaking of him, and because there was a lad who he was wanting to go over, and I was like, double think that one, like, double think that one.
Just watching it this morning, man. Like boots to the head and that fucking.
It is it's what it is. King of the Street.
Is it legal? Are they legally doing it, or is it? Because you couldn't get away with that in England, could you? Could you fuck?
Mate, it's like Pride 1.
Fucking mate, it's mint.
It's like.
And they've got
Pride.
500,000 subscribers.
I
shows
know.
How good it is. 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I know, it's insane. Like it goes above, because I think the old Pride rules, they were unbelievable. Even the first UFC 1 rules were class. Like, I'm not a huge I love MMA now, but I never used to. But I've like doing the research, and like it's got to be. That's not sanctioned. It can't be, man.
Footnotes, but they all cover themselves up like
exactly, man. But they are. But you would understand why though, because they're hooligans as well. So
that business there is that what they do is fucking sick. Even the music was like, it's creepy, isn't it?
It's fucking good, mate.
If you're into combat sports, King of the Streets is fucking. There's nothing better, man.
Honestly, check King of the Streets out. It is insane. Some of the fights on there is what it says it is. It's King of the Street. Anything goes.
One of their biggest names is fighting on BFBA.
Yes.
Again, which is going to be a fucking mint fight, and then I will be fighting the winner of that.
Yeah, and that's going to do some big numbers, man.
If I fight Simon Henriksen, that's going to blow my profile up before I've even got to Henry, and that's going to blow my profile up to the point where me and Henry fight would be fucking. Do you know what I mean? I think he'll. But I need. He's 5-0 now, isn't he? I'm only 2-0, and I've only beat. I think I need to beat some more notable people before Bakewell wants to give me that, because I know.
See, my record's not up to scratch with it. I thought he was 4-0, might be 5-0.
On big thing, or like say that I'm gonna find out get the win. Oh, you broke a bit there. What happened?
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, hello.
Can you hear us now? No, just reconfigure.
Right, sound. I heard you say your record's not the best.
No, I said I thought my knowledge of their records isn't the best. I thought he was 4-0. I didn't know he was 5-0.
Simon Henriksen hasn't fought BKB yet, but he's 5-0.
Yep.
In King of the Street.
In King of the Streets, right?
And, Tony Estora's fought. He's fought for BFBA a couple of times. I think I was supposed to fight Tony Estora in June or something like that on that Ragnarok show. Obviously, I was going to fight Tony Estora. So I've already done a camp for Tony Estora. If it does end up being Tony Estora who wins, I've already done a camp for him before, and he's
double prepped.
He's slow as hell. He's far too slow.
Quick feet, quick hands.
That's what my biggest as a cruiser is. I have got quick hands. I do move quite well. He is like a typical fucking bigger guy. Just stands there, plodder, looking for the big shots. There's not many people like fucking who move. Like Darren's another one who moves well for his size. You know what I mean? Moves very well for his size.
What are you sitting at currently? So, weight wise?
Weight.
Yeah.
85, yeah.
Strong then.
Yeah, I've got 2 weeks to get to 88.
Oh.
Fucking 7 kilos. But going back story now, when I transitioned from unlicensed boxing, I obviously wanted more, and I moved into MMA. So I ended up 2-0 in MMA for a company called UKFC, quite a big like amateur ones. They were televised, and I actually fought Adam Gorgon, who's ex-BKB.
They were both KOs, weren't they?
He's fought. Yeah, they were both KOs, yeah. And that's when I started to realise, like, when the gloves come off, like not gloves come off, but the gloves went down, like into I was like, right up. I was just fucking, I jabbed one kid and he's got chicken legs. I was like, fucking hell. And then BKB, I see, I missed the story because we chatted before, because me and Darren were supposed to fight. This is what I was meant to get into. Fucking hell. So me and Darren Andrew were meant to fight BKB 18. So I had been messaging BKB just trying to get on, but there was no, just like now, there's not much footage of this because I've only been boxing 5 years, so there's not a lot on there. And if there is stuff on there, it's white collar stuff, and it's very 3 years, even though it's not that long ago. It is long ago when you box every day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Of
course it is, man.
It's quite a lot. Taking all these away fights all the time that they weren't recorded. Things like that weren't recorded. Do you know what I mean? But so my mate Jack Armfield, he lost his pro license, so he had a bit of a 2-year gap, and he thought, fuck it, he was going to BKB, so he got on at BKB, and I was like, get me on. I was like, I've been messaging these people. I had no leverage to get on there. Do you know what I mean? I only had fucking white collar fights. So he was like, right. And then he sorted that out. And then I got a text off Jim one day offering me Damon Hendry. I obviously fucking searched Damon Hendry, and there's some fucking ferocious guys killing people. And I was like, fucking hell. So I was like, yeah, go on then, fuck it. I thought, you don't say no if the big boys come calling, do you? I thought, no. And then that fight fell through because I bust my hand. So I got into a scrap in the street and hit his tooth, which I kept all this quiet at the time because obviously I hadn't fought for them before, so I didn't want to be telling them why I was pulling out the fight. Well, I didn't even pull out at first. I hit his tooth, and obviously I just glued it up under Smudger Smith. I was on the phone, like, get some fucking Gorilla Glue. He's like, can be fucking sound. I didn't tell Smudger what had actually happened. I mean, Smudger hadn't been talking that long at the time, so I didn't know where to put him on. Was he good mates with BKB or whatever? So I just kept it all quiet what had actually happened. And then the next day it was bang, boom, boom, traveling up my arm, all this swell. It was fucking horrific, man. So I ended up having to pull out the fight. I seen Darren when I obviously went down there, I cornered Jack. I went down there, seen Darren, went and apologised. I was like, do you know what I mean? Because he looked like he'd lost a lot of weight to get down to that. It was 86 we were fighting at, and I struggled to get to 86. And he's a fucking big guy, man. He's a big, even when I stand next to him, big guy.
He is big.
Fucking beast, isn't he? So I could see it on his face as well. He was dead
drawn in.
He fucking, and then he didn't end up getting to fight because it was so short notice. I don't think they could get anyone in. So I was like, I had to go and apologise to him. Like he was all right. He was like, we'll get going in November, and then after that was when I should have been fighting him, but then BKB. It's public knowledge anyway what I used to do for a living, gay porn. So that all started getting plastered fucking about. Blah, blah, blah. And I thought this whole bullying situation again. I thought, am I going to fucking sit here? Because it was from Joel, the owner of the fucking company, Jim and Joel. I'm like, am I going to? There were only snidey remarks. Do you know what I mean? There weren't much. They were just snidey remarks. Mm-hmm. And I thought, am I going to sit and let this little weasel fucking talk about me like this?
Bullshit.
Fucking. I went in on him. He blocked us. Next minute, Jim's posting. You know what they're like.
Of course they are. They're no angels. Trust us.
Or talk bad about them. Talking about my experience, yeah. But yeah, and then that started from there. But listen, little do they know, right? Let me tell you a little story. Yeah. So obviously, I've been the fucking main part of these banter groups for fucking ages. All these fucking different gay porn. I went on TV and told everybody what I was doing for a living. Do you know what I mean? You're not telling anybody what nobody knew anyway. Do you know what I mean? I've already I was talking about it. Do you know what I mean? And so yeah, they're posting all these fucking shit, blah blah blah. So after the Pickles fight, this lad messages us on Instagram, right? And he goes, "Fucking hell, mate, fair play, blah blah blah." I was like, "What a shot." He was like, and I was like, yeah, nice one, like as you would be, does it? And he was like, I'll be honest, mate. He was like, I found out who you were through the BKB banter pages where they kept like, oh damn, McGraffin shags men for money, blah blah blah.
Wow.
So obviously some people have obviously went, who's this lad they're talking about, and obviously went and followed us or whatever. But little do they know that like not everyone's as narrow-minded as them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So
they've been literally. What's that thing that says no publicity is bad publicity?
Yeah.
Them talking about in these banter groups, taking the piss out of us, has got people to know who McGraffin is, because it's not as if I'm a Smith or a Jones. Do you know what I mean? There's multiple names. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, who's it? So then when McGraffin pops up and he's fucking, because I know, like, I'm not like that fucking Brandon Lambert in America, who's just chatting all this shit to get known, but he can't back it up, can he? He can't, and he knows that himself. This is why he wants to fight heavy-handed people, so he don't matter if he loses. Do you know what I mean? Kind of good John and stuff like that. But yeah, I see what he's doing. Leave him to do his thing. But yeah, anyway, fucking where was I at? Oh yeah, the point being was these guys are obviously following us anyway, not saying much, but I'm backing it up, and I am going to back it up in every single fight because I know I can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the best way to beat your critics, man. That's the best way to do it.
They're following, just probably being nosy because BKB have been talking about this. So the following just being a little bit nosy. But then when I'm sparking people like Pickles out and David Round out on that, they're gonna turn into fans. So all they've done is they've just let everybody know who I am.
But
in the bare-knuckle scene.
But how sad of that? How sad of that of a professional company to do that? How sad is that, though? Let's be truthful.
They do it in their banter pages where it's their little click, and do you know what I mean?
It's still them, though. Do you know what I mean? How professional is that?
I had it off. Pickles was putting up like the bare-knuckle bomber, fucking all this crap, and I was just like, I ended up ringing Pickles. We're having a bit of back and forth on the phone, and he was like, you do this, you do gay porn, man. And I was like, I've had this for fucking since BKB 18, 3 years ago. That I was like, I've had this for 3 years off like the top of the bare-knuckle game, if you want to put it, right? I've had it for them. I'm like, what? It's like, do you know that Eminem fucking thing at 8 Mile where he just says everything about them? He's got nothing. This is all everybody's got. This is all everybody's got. And I'm like, fucking hell, like they think it bothers us. Like I know what I've done. I went on fucking Channel 5 and tell everyone. Do you know what I mean? Who were you telling that fucking Channel 5 didn't? There's been millions of views on that. Do you know what I mean? Maybe wish I didn't do it now because it fucking still get random messages now. Fucking
myth. No matter of expressing with what you've done, is that?
This is where we get into when I was boxing. I was boxing full like a full-time fighter when I was a fucking white collar fighter, because that was what I was doing there. I was getting a lot of money for it, a lot of money. And that was funding me to do what the fuck. I didn't have to go train before work or train after work or anything like that. I was just fucking I was training 3 times a day. I was not living, but I was pretty much living in Brian Moses' gym. I had a key. I was working there PTing, which weren't bringing in a lot of money. I had about fucking 2-3 clients a week. Do you know what I mean? I was probably paying more rent to Brian to have that little fucking office than it was bringing in. But I had the key to the gym. I was fucking lived around the corner. I was there constantly, and that job funded me to be able to do that. And now, like that, I haven't done that for fucking couple of years now. But yeah, 2019 was March 2019 was the last time I've done it. And I mean, and now I'm still training three times a day. But back then I was in with the coaches. I was in with like Brian's coach, Bobby Rimmer, professional coach.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? I was people daily. Like I was getting, and then I moved to an amateur coach of high top, like Sharp Style Gym. They fucking win pretty much everything in the amateurs. They're like a well-established gym. I was with their coach every morning, Monday to Friday, fucking every day. I was paying them a fortune, but I could afford to do this then. Do you know what I mean? And well, that's why I progressed so quick in such a little time, because I just went with that amateur coach. It all happened because I didn't have anyone to warm us up on a fight. And because Mitchell was the guy who runs the show, he was busy cornering someone, so no one could warm me up. And he warmed me up. And what he taught me in 2 to 5 minutes of warming me up, I was like, wow. So the next day, I was fucking boom. So what can you get me? He was like, these times, I was like, every day. Monday to Friday, it's like fucking paying him weekly. And like I said, the job funded that back then. So it got me
it got you to what? Yeah, well, it got you to what you wanted, and now where you're.
Otherwise, if you're working full time, sometimes you can't be asked to train, and then more fat because I was in the gym constantly, surrounding myself with like-minded people as well. I was falling a lot. I was getting offered the fights, which was more and more experience. more and more and more experience. At some points, I'd have like, I've got a boxing fight fucking next week. Then there was an MMA fight after that, and then, do you know what I mean?
You can't buy experience, you know what I mean? You've got to actually gain it.
And I've learned, Lord, mate, I've gassed out in fights. I've been stopped in fights. I've been hit with fucking body shots in fights. I've had it all. Do you know what I mean? I've had, not like what some pros have or whatever, but I've been in there to think.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Have you sparred any like high level names like in the pro game?
Yeah. I sparred Jack Armfield a few times.
Wow.
Yeah, he's fucking. I'm trying to think if me and Brian ever done a couple. Me and Brian would have moved around, but my level back then, he would have just been playing about with us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I sparred Jack, that was when we were both in camp for BKB. Matty Askin, I've sparred Matty Askin.
Wow.
He actually went to 4 left on because I had my hand down, and he went. You need to get that up, because I just told me like that. But he stopped it. You know what I mean? Fucking heavy-handed guy, Matty Askin, like. And yeah, Jack, when I sparred Jack, that was a full proper spar. He jabbed my head off. Jack Armfield's jab was sick. He jabbed my head off, man.
Good boxer, Jack. Really good boxer. So's Matty.
Yeah, Matty's sick. Matty's just can't be asked with the weight anymore, I think.
Yeah, he beat one of the guys. Fight
that a fight or whatever on the Joshua undercard, and the guy just kept holding him the whole fight.
Yeah, Lawrence Okoli.
Yeah, that's the one. And I think after that, he got a bit disheartened and thought this, and then he went to go BKB. I don't know what happened there, but that fight fell through.
I think he fought one of the lads from our area many years ago, John Lewis Dickinson. One of the, I'm sure it was a title fight. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it was a British title fight. Can't remember the outcome actually, but yeah, he's
fucking big guy.
He is. I've always liked Matty Askin, because I used to watch a lot of boxing back then, like really a lot of boxing, and I still do now, but not. It's hard to keep
track of, like, especially the domestic level these days. It's hard. There's so much going on.
That is, man. There's so much going on. Like, you've got, I mean, some of the the promotions, the platforms, like, you're not really getting the best fights. It's like you've got one promotional company fighting with another promotional company because they want the rights of this, that, and the other, and it's like, are we ever going to get to see these good fights?
This is why I love Bare-knuckle, mate, because
same.
You're not coming in and fighting journeyman, like proper journeyman, mismatched fights with like some debut pro guys. They fight people who've had like 0 wins and 100 losses. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's why I like the UFC's platform as well. Like the way the UFC, their model as well, the way they do it, where the best have to fight the best. I just think that is the perfect way. Like that's the key. What's that shiny thing there?
Yeah, that's me bells. My bird just wanted something else.
Just
there. I've got a little curtain coming into my studio, and that's the kitchen there. So you'd see her and fucking.
So on that note, Dan,
that's what you were saying. But yeah, go on.
On that note, is there a final message you would like to give Mr. David Round?
Yeah, well, we couldn't even turn up for this fucking podcast, could he? So what makes you think he's going to turn up in the fight? I mean, he's going to turn up to the fight, but he's not going to turn up to the fight. He's not going to, like I said, I don't think I'm getting out of there because he's tough as nails. I've seen the big broken orbital bone he had, and that still managed to get to the end of the fight. He's fought some tough guys as well, do you know what I mean? Like Volkan Oezdemir. He's fought Volkan Oezdemir.
I know.
Number 8, like heavyweight in the world.
Oh, man. I know. That's some guy, so man.
I totally get it, because he's got a wheelbarrow of confidence in him, and he's confident as fuck. And I get why, because he's fought people like that. He's probably thinking, what have you got that these guys haven't fought? But he lost to them. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't beat them. Lost to them.
You
He's
lost
gonna
them.
lose to me as well. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna just he's got, because I don't think, like I said, I don't think I'm gonna get him out of there. But he's gonna look a mess at the end of that fight. You see how Ben looks after 2 shots, only around the 2 shots, and rearranged his face, his nose was busted, and his fucking eye was out. Yeah. So David's gonna look. He's gonna look a mess. That mop head hair fucking flapping about all over the place.
I do believe Khabib did say, I want to rearrange his fists.
Yeah, Khabib. He's got his face rearranged loads of times in these MMA fights. This is why I don't think I'm getting him out of there. He's had kicks to the heads. He's had it all. Do you know what I mean?
He's had it all. Is there any sponsors you would like to give a shout out yourself?
Yeah. Aztec Genetics. My little Aztec Genetics. SCG Construction, Priestley Construction, and Pulfar Construction. Lots of constructions. Oh, and Nature's Wall. Send me all the nice organic
stuff.
Yeah, give me energy and shit like that.
That's the style. That's what you want to keep the body fueled. Keep the mind.
He actually works. He's got. I haven't got any out with us, but so I'll show you the little thing. It works, man. It does, unless it's the placebo effect or whatever. But apparently, I feel like when I don't have them, I feel like I'm like, whoa, I missed it. I was like, this is why I'm fucked. Energy.
It's got you. It's got you.
I don't know. Even if it is the it works.
Right, Dan. Honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure to get you on the podcast, and hopefully we're going to get you on many more times as well in the future, and we'll keep in touch in between as well. I will see you at this next fight, my man.
Yeah, definitely.
1,000,000%.
Next time I'll have 2 up there.
Extra straps. Right. As usual, folks, this has been the Bad World Podcast. This has been Dan McGraffin. Dan, again, thank you very much for coming on, my man. It's been a pleasure.
Right, nice one. See you in a bit.
Thank you very much, Dan. See you later, mate.